brings with it a whole host of interview requests, and people want to spend time with you and appear on their TV show, radio show, etc. And what Brent's laughing because he's polishing his sunglasses.
He's polishing his sunglasses. Well, when you come to Tyneside, Steve, you always have to polish your sunglasses, don't you?
Oh dear. Well, we haven't quite seen the sun, not yet anyway. But we are going to see Mo Farah, the world champion, joined by Andy Vernon, James Wilkinson and Johnny Mellor, Jeff C, AJ Acosta, Scott Bowes and Brian Olinger of the United States. His opposition here, and none of those names, with all due respect, would be athletes to frighten Mo Farah, but I'm sure they will be enjoying the opportunity to run against Mo. I'd love, maybe we'll find out afterwards, to get his thoughts on Kenenisa Bekele last night, mind you. But it's great to see him here on Tyneside, and you know, Brendan and I think the whole of Great Britain have been waiting a long time for what we saw this summer. Last summer was great, but this summer has been well, almost unbelievable. World best time at 10,000 metres in Eugene at the beginning of the summer. That man set all the tongues wagging. Could he go to the World Championships and win that event? Ran brilliantly in Monaco for 5,000 metres. Then the question was, how will he go on the double? Brilliant race in the 10, just lost out to Jay Lamb, we saw that earlier on, and then bounced back in fantastic style to take that gold medal in the 5,000 final. So here we go then, 2 miles, 2 laps round. So off they go then, and Bren, as I said, I know how much you will have enjoyed, as much as anybody else, the performances of Mo on the track this year, but particularly that he turned it into a world title in the end, because despite what everyone was saying, that was always going to be difficult.
It really was, and I thought when he ran the 10,000 metres, he had a great chance of winning that one. He beat all the guys in that race, the Olympic gold, silver and bronze medalists, so we thought when he'd beaten them, he's going to win the race, but unfortunately he found a young Ethiopian, Jaylan, who was faster than him on the last lap that day. But the thing for me was the way he came back and recovered from that 10,000 metres. He's got a fantastic team around him, led by Barry Fudge, who set up the recovery process, and I just marvel at what they did and how he came back. He was even better a couple of days later in the 5,000 than he had been in the 10,000 metres, and it was a real pleasure to watch a British athlete win a global title at 5,000 metres. And it was great that it's been Mo Farah, because he's been promising a lot. He's had a long journey, starting from the time when Alan Watkinson found him as a schoolmaster at Feltham Community College and then helped him along. And then Alan Storey did a great job with him. But then UK Athletics and Ian Stewart took over and eventually got him placed with Alberto Salazar, coaching him in America. And then the rest is the gold medal is history now. But at the end of the day, he's so excited about next year. He's so excited about his running. He was here yesterday. He couldn't believe how many people, including the athletes. Joe Pavey came up and asked him for his autograph, and he thought she was joking. She said, "No, I'm not." And he wouldn't give her his autograph, by the way.
But the other thing about Mo, I think, which sometimes gets overlooked, is how much of a journey he's been on. He just as a person, he was an exuberant character when he was a youngster, and he'll admit that he wasn't always as focused perhaps as he might be. And the last 2-3 years, he's been a very, very good athlete for 6 or 7 years. Right up in the world's top sort of 7 or 8, best in Europe. Certainly, probably should have won the European Championships back in 2006. But he's just a different person now, isn't he?
He's got so much confidence now. I remember as a kid, though, Steve, you said about him being exuberant. We were commentating on the World Cross Country in Ostend, a heavy, muddy day. He was one of the favourites going into the race, and he finished 17th. And I don't know if you remember this, but he came and knocked on our commentary box door, and we opened the door, and we were commentating on Paula Radcliffe running.
Yes.
And he said, "I've just finished 17th. Do you want to interview me?"
I know. He was and that's why all the athletes love Mo, because he's been a character in the team for quite a long time. So the fact that he's become a champion is something which a lot of people are enjoying, not just distance fans. Well, at the moment, Ryan Ollinger's just trying to push things on. It was pretty slow early on, wasn't it? Coming round the first time over the swing bridge. Next time it'll be, I'm sure, moving a little bit quicker as they approach the last quarter of a mile, but they've got another lap to go yet. Mo Farah just enjoying the chance to run in front of a British crowd here. He's heading off to Somalia, incidentally, to go and visit relatives after this, and a bit of a break before, well, it won't be long, will it, before he'll be back into heavy training again for next year.
He said he's going to have a couple of weeks off completely. He said, I've been overawed by the reaction. He said, I went to Arsenal last week. I've been to Arsenal many times, that's my football team. But when I went into the changing room area, Van Persie came up and asked for my autograph, and he said, come on, you must be joking. He said, you don't want my autograph, I want your autograph. But he is a modest young man, he is a very personable young man, and he's been such a talent over the years. We've been waiting on this to happen, and it's happened even better than we ever dreamed it could happen, and it couldn't happen to a nicer guy, and he really is he is now getting used to his popularity. But the Americans are here, as you would do as a distance runner. There's the world champion just behind you. You know you're going to give him a run for his money. He's not going to have it easy. Test him. Ollinger's running well, stretching it out. Mo looks comfortable and enjoying the crowd cheering him on there as he comes here with 1 lap to go. They're just coming up to the mile point, and then they'll take off from there.
Andy Vernon just struggling a little bit, and well, he's another world champion, just I'm being reminded about when the World Student Games this summer. Andy Vernon, and he's had a good summer actually, ran a new personal best earlier in the year over 5,000 metres, but just getting tailed off a little bit as Ollinger's pushing the pace on. 4:21 through the first mile. So this is the second time over the Millennium Bridge on the second lap, and they really are being stretched out now. Well, Farah, no problem for him. But the others, Bowes and JJ Costa and C, the other Americans, just not being able to go with their teammate, who's making a real concerted effort to get away from Mo Farah. I don't think he's really going to succeed in doing that, but at least he's having a bit of a go, which is good to see.
Well, I bet they've talked about this, you know, because when you get an athlete at the top of his form, you know he's been moving around the celebrity circuit for a couple of weeks, but he has been training as well. You know he's going to be a little bit on the down after a World Championships. And if you're a distance runner, you always want to take your chance. And Ollinger really is taking his chance. He's stretching Mo. Mo's relaxing now. He kept him within his sights. He kept within the distance. He just had a glance over his shoulder. He saw there's not much danger coming from behind. The crowd will be cheering him along as the juniors are lining up to get ready to run the Junior Great North Run in a few moments. And they saw him on TV. They've seen him here many times before. He's won on this race. He's won 3 times here in the past 4 years. But we've seen him here in his good days, and we've seen him here on a bad day. But I think today he's just there to be happy to enjoy it. Going along there, turning under the Tyne Bridge, and then they'll swing round, cross the swing bridge as we see there, the red and white bridge, the smaller bridge there. And we'll see the athletes swing across there, literally. And Mo Farah is now in the position where he wants to be. We know how fast he is at the finish. We've seen him produce that on the big occasions, and he's definitely going to make this into a big occasion by producing a sprint finish. But he's being stretched. He's probably hurting a little bit. It's a reminder of him that distance running hurts. Head down for Mo Farah. He hasn't needed to use his clean sunglasses yet, Steve, but he's moving into overdrive there.
And there he goes. It's been a good effort from Ollinger. Steeplechaser, strong and showing that strength there. Big gaps. Scotty Bowes is currently leading the pack in 3rd place, but they're a long way behind these two. And Mo just stretching it out a little bit now. It's not really him kicking yet. Just maybe feeling that Ollinger was starting to slow after his efforts at the front, and he's just maintaining the pace.
The crowd's in front of us, Steve, watching on a big screen, and suddenly the cheer went up when Mo Farah hit the front, but he hasn't broken him yet. He's not too far away. He's working hard there, glancing over his shoulder, and now he becomes under the level. About a 1/4 mile to go now for Mo Farah, and when he gets now within our sight, you'll hear a big roar from the crowd, and it will be a pleasure to welcome home Britain's first distance running gold medalist from the World Championships. Mo Farah, European double champion, silver medalist in the 10,000 metres, gold medalist in the 5,000 metres, and you've got no idea what a pleasure it is to trot off those titles when I've watched him and enjoyed his running over the years, and now he's in his glory days, and this is his purple patch. You don't get many of them in your career, and let's hope his purple patch lasts for another 12 months.
So Mo Farah, easing his way to victory here. He's, as Brendan was saying, he's won on 3 occasions in this race, and it's going to be a fairly comfortable 4th victory. Not exactly unexpected. Ollinger and then Jeff C taking 3rd spot at the moment, moving ahead of the rest of the pack. Mo just having a little look behind, and he's got plenty of time to blow kisses, wave to the crowd, and what a wonderful reception he's receiving from the crowd here on Tyneside. Great Britain's world champion coming home to win comfortably. Ollinger in 2nd place for the USA, then Jeff C taking 3rd, AJ Costa just sprinting ahead of his teammate Scotty Bowers for 4th place. No doubt about our winner then, it was really never in doubt, was it? A fairly comfortable run for him, and now he can put his feet up for a little while. He has been enjoying some of the plaudits over the last 10 days or so anyway, but there'll be a little bit more of that sort of attention and celebration for him over the next 2-3 months, I'm sure, but then he'll be back to hard work and looking forward to summer next year. And well, Brendan, you and I will be sincerely hoping he can reproduce the sort of form we saw from him this summer.
Well, I don't suppose he'll be blowing kisses in London in 2012, but it would be fantastic if he did. But we wouldn't have to worry about that. We'd want to know he's back, he's ready, he's in great form. He's now going off with a renewed confidence as the World Championship title brings him. And we've waited a long time for a world champion, and there he is, a little wave from the man. And a great performance. And the team score now, 2 to Great Britain, 2 to the USA, and all 4 winners are all World Championship medalists. And this one, the 5,000 metre champion, wins the 2-mile race. Well done, Mo.
Well, we're used to seeing Mo winning all throughout this year pretty much, and yet another victory today, but this is slightly different for you, Mo. It's something you could give back to the crowd today.
Yeah, definitely. I wanted to come back home. I love Newcastle, running against, the great crowd here, and just one last race here, and then I'm going to call a break now.
You need it, and you deserve it. What does the next few weeks hold for you?
Just a couple of weeks of break, and then just start the season slowly.
So how quickly does your mind turn towards next year, even though you've had this fantastic recent success?
Yeah, definitely. You've got to forget about it and just focus on next year. 2012 is a big year, so I'm looking forward to it. So I just got to stay injury-free, stay positive, and keep doing what I'm doing.
How are you enjoying all the swirl of attention that's around you? I've noticed it even more today than ever before. Yeah,
it's nice to see so many people coming out here and giving us support. Just really appreciate for everyone's support.
We appreciate you being here and entertaining the crowd so fully. Thanks a lot, Mo.
No worries, thanks, Phil.
That's well done, Mo. 8:37 his winning time. A fairly comfortable run, and solid performance from Brian Ollinger in 2nd place. He was the one who really at least had a bit of a go to try and take it to Mo, and Jeff C taking 3rd spot. So that's 2-2 now in the match.